A moment. Wow. A moment gamers will never forget. So that's probably gonna be like a viral thing now. I know like he gets like usually a couple million views on all his videos. I wonder how this one will do. I'd click it. All right, here we go. A moment gamers will never forget.
Yesterday, we were blessed with a moment gamers will never forget. A day that will stand the test of time and will always look back on as a special holiday, similar to Easter, but without the bunny. When one man dared to dream big, we learned an important lesson on what happens when the dream is bigger than the flesh can handle. Approximately 24 hours ago, in a Super Smash Bros. Melee tournament, emotions were high, tears were shed, pants shat, but most importantly, history was made. But not in the video game itself. The stakes couldn't have been higher. Two titans collided. These two kaiju duked it out in a Thunderdome of unrivaled testosterone and violence. It was like Godzilla vs. King Kong. It was Game 5, final stock. The next death would seal it. It's a competition, which means there's one winner and one loser. And just like virginity, no one wants to lose it. But, unfortunately, someone was going to have to. The crowd was on the edge of their seat, but the spectators couldn't have known they were about to bear witness to an event that would transcend space and time and be talked about for eons to come. After a winner was decided in the match, no one could have expected what happened next.
If he gets hit by a backer, he will be knocked off stage.
Here we go.
For H-Bucks, he calls it out, and that's gonna be it!
Oh!
Wow. Well, he's stealing his moment there, Walt.
Dude, millions of people are gonna see this. Millions.
We're gonna get that one on a clip, right?
Oh,
Is that in the replays?
Holy shit.
Okay.
This onion's got a lot of layers. This is only the beginning of the rabbit hole here. But what you just watched is basically Kratos challenging Ares. This was a moment that had never been thought possible prior to this. These two players here are very well known in the Melee scene. Hungrybox is the Jigglypuff that won there in the sunglasses, and iBDW, Cody, was the Fox player who had just lost. And after he lost, he went berserk. He went all up in H-Box's face and started yelling and jumping and screaming, getting real primal, damn near started just like banging a club on the ground.
This is
like
unreal,
a
dude.
caveman. But why? For those that aren't in the scene, they might not understand what this is. This is known as a pop-off. A pop-off is defined by science as an emotional influx during an event.
Yes.
I'm making that up. I didn't feel like looking it up. But a pop-off is basically just like
Correct.
a big celebration. And in Melee, Hungrybox is well known for his pop-offs. So he'll stand up, yell, scream, flex every goddamn muscle in his body, veins popping out of his neck. Damn near makes it seem like he's about to explode or go Super Saiyan or shit his pants. Like, he goes wild on his pop-offs. It's part of his brand. It's part of his identity.
I agree,
And
Charlie.
it's super hype. I think pop-offs are always great to witness, even when they're not to like H-Box's level. And his go crazy. H-Box once fainted from popping off so hard.
Please show it. Yes! He's showing it!
Oh no.
This isn't a Moistcritikal video?
I couldn't actually find this clip unedited, but you see what happens. You know, he's yelling, going ballistic, and his body shuts down. The Windows
Oh my
operating system
God.
needs to reboot there for a second. And he, you know, passes out on stream. Of course, people meme it saying that he Jigglypuff rested in real life, and it was just a great classic moment.
Holy shit.
It wasn't dangerous or anything. H-Box wasn't hurt. It's not like he collapsed and then fell into a pit of nails and piranhas. He just hit the floor after fainting, got back up, watched the clip, and had a bit of a giggle about it and explained he hadn't eaten that day, you know, this and that.
Little giggle.
It's just one of those H-Box pop-off moments that everyone now remembers. But he is well known for big celebrations, those pop-offs. That's his signature. There's only two certainties in life, death and Hungrybox popping off every time he wins a set in tournament. So when Cody lost, he had already hatched a plan to counter pop-off on H-Box. It's being called the anti-pop-off tech at the moment.
This is official
His
now,
plan
dude.
was simple.
This is
He
literally
knew
official.
The H-Box celebration was coming because he just lost and everyone knows it's coming. So he went ahead of it and put the kibosh on it. He imitated an H-Box pop-off at him in order to stop him from having a legitimate, genuine HBox pop-off. It was quite the fucking galaxy brain scheme, honestly. It was like that bird in the animal kingdom that has like a dance battle with each other when they're in a fight.
Fuck.
So they start like mirroring each other's moves at each other until one of them gives up. That's kind of what Cody did to HBox. So he went up there, fucking jumping up and down, yelling at everything, just like HBox does. And it completely took the wind out of HBox's sails and stopped it. But at what cost? I'll set aside the physical repercussions of imitating a pop-off like this because Cody actually did have a health thing flare up from doing that pop-off, but I'm going to save that for a moment. Let's talk about the response to it. A lot of people have called it cringe, and since it's the internet, being cringe is the ultimate sin and unforgivable crime. A lot of people are calling it embarrassing because he took it too far or thought that he was extremely mad about it, poor sportsmanship, shit like that. And I'll let you know where I stand on it. I think it's fucking great. I love those big emotional moments in sports, esports, all that. To see players getting hype and excited or getting really upset when they lose. Why is that bad?
He's invested in melee players.
Shit.
He knows.
Yeah, of course there's a level of cringe to it, but god damn it, that's what makes it so fucking fun to get invested in. This was the perfect blend of cringe, but all in on it. To go hog wild and let it all hang loose. Risk it all for an idea. An idea to counter pop-off. You see, this wasn't some spur-of-the-moment emotional outburst decision. It wasn't impulsive. This was actually premeditated. Cody had actually been planning this for, I believe, a month now. He said that, and this is on stream as I recall, that he has something in store for if he ever loses the Xbox tournament.
And there it is.
This was confirmed by another Melee player named Plup, who also confirmed that Cody had this idea before, that if he loses to HBox, he was going to pop off before he did in order to stop it. And he committed to it, and he followed through on it, and this is the result. I think this shows many things. Commitment and loyalty to an idea, as well as not being afraid to get wild and wacky, baby. And I love wild and wacky, I really do. So I think this is great. I think it's a really fun moment. They're friends. It's not like either one of them's taking it badly. Like Cody's like retweeting the memes and talking about like how he's getting a giggle out of it. HBox is tweeting memes and having a giggle about it. Like they're both being totally normal about it. It's the people on Reddit and Twitter that are being like actual psychologists on it that are the most cringe of this whole situation. This was two friends, and one of them had an idea to surprise the other, as well as everyone else, with something a little goofy. And everyone's well, not everyone, excuse me. Some people are digesting this as some kind of like mental instability where this guy needs to go to an insane asylum, or he has problems managing his anger and should be banned from the scene, and just the worst takes ever, because of course they do. It's fucking Twitter. And I've seen it on Reddit too, with people overanalyzing the situation with actual medical diagnoses on mental problems or some shit. It's so crazy. This is as simple as the idea was silly and the execution was super silly. And that's about it. It's just some good fun overall. Now let's talk about the after effects from the pop-off, because Cody was a victim of what I call a pop-off overdose. He overloaded his chakra when he channeled this energy. He brought the demon out, and his body wasn't ready to handle it. He tweeted saying that he actually almost fainted from this. And with that context, it's pretty clear. You can actually see it on stage. After the initial opening of Pandora's box, you can see him start to stumble a little bit, and he puts his hands on HBox's lower stomach, almost looking like he's trying to cop a feel of his penis. But it's not because he's trying to like get a little wiener tug-a-rooski in there. It's because he's using HBox to prevent himself from falling over. You can see his legs wobbling and all of that as he's like grabbing onto HBox, which is what made the whole thing even more awkward, because he just kept touching HBox, and I guess people didn't really understand why. I know I didn't until learning that he almost fainted, and it makes complete sense because he looks extremely unsteady here. You know, it's not that he's like trying to feel up HBox like he's a weirdo at a club or anything. It's because he is actually on the verge of falling and collapsing. So he's using HBox's cock as a walking stick here to keep his balance. This just goes to show how difficult it is to pop off like HBox. And I've had this experience too. Like when you know, start celebrating really loud, screaming, yelling, flexing, like going crazy, it's like really draining. Like it's a big strain on the whole body. And I've absolutely gotten a little lightheaded celebrating like a Moist Esports win and all of that. Like, it actually does tax the whole system, honestly. Like, it's just a lot.
The
for
meta has
human
forever
body,
changed, guys.
especially all at once. Because in like an esport or sports in general, like, it happens in a split second, right? It's a switch that flips on. A big goal, a big point, whatever. You immediately celebrate. So you go 0 to 100 so quickly that, you know, like, if you stand up super quick and start yelling, like, that's just a lot. Like, that's a huge flood of emotions all at once. So yeah, I absolutely can see that he almost fainted there, and popping off, like, you gotta practice. You gotta get in the gym and work that shit out. You really do. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about this situation because a lot of people are talking about it, and I think it's really interesting because I think it's one of those classic esports moments. This is one that I'm going to remember, and I think most of the Smash Melee scene will too. It's just good fun though. I don't think it's deep. I don't think there's any like actual depth to it that people are trying to make it out to be. It's just one of those silly moments that'll end up in compilations over the next few years, and that's about it. See ya.
Holy fuck.